But let's focus on another management. Let's focus on Sunteck Realty. Remember, they came out with the several numbers. The stock is lower in trade after they delivered, a quarter that was quite interesting. The stock, though, has recovered from the low point of the day. The revenues, remember, are up close to around 160%. Mr. Kamal Khaitan, the chairman and managing director of the company, joins us now. Hi, Mr. Khaitan. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. If you could help us out with a couple of details, how many units did you sell in the past quarter in BKC, and how many did you sell in your ODC project?
Yeah. So, number of units sold in the ODC in this last September quarter. So, we did an activation of some new inventory. And with that launch, in fact, in the last quarter, some activation has spilled over, obviously, in current quarter also. But in the last quarter, we sold close to 80 units.
80 units.
And at the average realization of close to 14,500, which gave us a sales of close to 150 crore approximately from ODC itself, Sunteck City.
Okay.
And in BKC, in fact, we sold only one unit, in fact, and that gave us a realization of close to 25 crore, which was Insignia Isle, I believe.
Okay. Well, Mr. Khaitan, with the implementation of RERA plus the rollout of GST, that doesn't seem to have impacted your business at all.
So, if you see, it's clearly coming out now. The organized player are, in fact, getting benefit than the unorganized player. And people are more comfortable, in fact, and with the GST and RERA, everything, all, in fact, this is in the favor of the organized player. And this is coming out more and more with the sales, what we are seeing, and the sales velocity picking up. If you see quarter on quarter, pre-demonetization, after the demonetization, there was a drop in sales. In fact, but thereafter, on every quarter, we are increasing the sales, as well as the margins are also getting better. And going forward, we see that this trend will continue for the organized player.
Well, Mr. Khaitan, the sense that we're getting by what you're saying is that, in fact, an organized player like you would be reasonably well placed as of now. It's 1 year post demonetization. Have any small real estate companies come to you and said, sir, do you want to buy any of our projects? Why did you do that QIP? What was the need for raising money?
So if you see the history of Sunteck, Nigel, we have always tried to maintain the debt equity level at a very comfortably, and we have played with the right kind of debt and right kind of equity.
Okay.
And we have, when we raised the equity, which was meager, just 150 crore,
okay,
which was almost like in 2009, 8 years back.
Okay.
That was again after the Lehman crisis when everybody was struggling. We were sitting on a strong balance sheet and strong cash flows, and that made the company grow so exponentially. And we see the similar situation right now, where a lot of developers are into distress, and there is a lot of distress which is there in the market, and that those are available, and Sunteck would like to take the full opportunity and benefit of that.
So what are you buying? What are you in negotiations for at this point in time? Just throw some more light on that. Which geographies at least, ticket size?
Ekta, obviously, it will be very difficult for me to comment, but definitely there are a lot of opportunity. We would like to evaluate them properly, and the right valuation. We would definitely like to do some aggressive acquisitions, which will create value for the shareholders.
All right, but what could the size of that acquisition be, Mr. Khaitan, and can we hear about that in this fiscal year itself? Can your shareholders hear about that in the next 6 months?
So it's very difficult to mention because we don't know where the market is heading just now. We are evaluating a lot of things. Our focus will be not at the size. Definitely return on equity is very important. Where will we enhance the ROE? We will look at the right valuations. Again, I'll repeat that, and at the right point we'll do that, and we'll announce.
You were talking about your debt position, sir. What kind of debt do you have in your books? And you have money now coming in from the QIP. So net, what is the net debt in the books?
So net secured is now like just negligible 0.2 debt equity ratio, and which is kind of the lowest in the industry.
Okay.
And the net secured debt is just 280 crores.
Okay. Has funding of your projects gone up? For example, is everything costing more? Because your margins seem to have crunched down even on a sequential basis. I'm talking about this quarter compared to the last quarter, where your margins were over 50-odd%, and this quarter is just about 30-odd%.
So, very right, Ekta. So, if you see this quarter, we have recognized first time the ODC Sunteck City Avenue 1 and Sunteck City Avenue 2 projects, and those have a historic sales. And it has been first time recognized. So when we book the historic sales, and this time if you see the sales has been it is dominated by the sales of the ODC. So that's why you have seen that drop in the margins. But and there was only one unit sale you could see from the BKC. So previously in the last quarter, which you saw, it was dominated by BKC sales. So that is the reason if you just see a slight, definitely a drop in PAT margin and EBITDA margin. But going forward, you will continue to see this maintained here or going northward from here.
Okay, Mr. Khaitan, just before I hand it over to Nigel, and this is my last question, I just wanted to get a sense in terms of how demand is looking, just based on the numbers that you've reported. What's your sense in terms of, demand from consumers, especially post demonetization, GST, as well as RERA?
So clearly, once again, Ekta, if you see quarter on quarter, the demand is again, and it's only picking up. And we are seeing really now the demand picking up, and people which are the fence sitter, they were just waiting and watching what will be the effect of post demonetization, RERA and GST. They now feel that it's all stabilized and things are moving better. And also if you see, all these things have definitely helped us, and this will continue to be positive, and this will only help more and more. Again, at the cost of repetition, I'll share with you, the organized players will definitely get more and more benefit out of it.
All right, Mr. Khaitan, you're sounding quite confident. All the best for the remainder of this fiscal. It seems that the street has taken your words rather seriously, and the stock has recovered close to 4% from the low point of the day on the back of your comfortable position. Stock moves to the high point of the day, but the market is virtually at the low point of the day, so just keep that in mind. On that note, we'll slip into a short break. You come back, we'll continue our focus on the markets. We'll also squeeze in a couple of queries, and we'll try to pull in a couple of managements. Stay with us.